What's up, guys? Welcome once again to the Save Continue podcast. My name is Ryan Robinson. With me is Tom Shelby.
Hi.
Shanee Howard.
Sup?
Every week we get together and talk about video games and related topics. Have a great time. Tom, how are things?
Things are good. We went to a game night.
Yeah, that was fun.
Played some games.
Played a few games. We played a little Joking Hazard.
That game is a game.
Yeah. When that game was when the game was busted out, I immediately assumed that you wouldn't particularly care for it.
Yeah. Not my kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was a fun time anyways.
Yeah. Hang out with Melchbox.
Mm-hmm.
Drinks. You got to drink some $3 vodka.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Drank a whole bottle of $3 vodka.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You finished that some bitch off?
Mm-hmm.
Must have been after I left, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on. Shanee, how are things?
Good. I did not drink a bottle of vodka or get to hang out with Melch, unfortunately. But I did get to see Steven.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It went fun. We danced, hung out, made some jokes.
Hi, Steven.
Hello, Steven.
I've been playing Breath of the Wild. I'm pretty close to finishing it.
Okay.
And yeah, just been that, and since we started it last week, I've been playing the crap out of Magikarp Jump.
Yes.
I still have not dropped.
That bled its way in to check it out today.
Oh, but Sailor Moon Drops actually came up last night.
Oh, yeah.
Did it?
In a very abstract way.
Yeah.
It
Oh.
was actually kind of cool.
Also, I got these Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong toys.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
These little sweet little boys.
Yeah,
Yep.
a couple sweet little baby boys. I got them in a little blind bag
Mm-hmm.
for about $10.
Total?
Yeah.
Maybe like $8.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's really cool, though.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play any games this week, Tom?
I played a lot this week. Mostly Quantum Break, which is phenomenal. And we'll talk about that more in a little bit here.
Phenomenal. I have not heard that word used to describe that game.
Yeah.
Obviously yet.
And Turok, Dinosaur Hunter.
Oh, yeah. You were playing that when I showed up.
Yeah, we're going to do a Let's Play of that. That will actually air before this airs. But
Yeah.
yeah, holds up very well.
I was looking at it. I was
Yeah.
like, and I was thinking that. It's like, this game does look like it holds up. And it would be cool to play it with a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, I mean, there are visual improvements to it. Very slight visual improvements.
Sure.
But, like, not even visually. Like, gameplay-wise, it holds up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have sworn you could drown in that game.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
Maybe in the second one? I don't know.
So I picked up The Surge this past week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Robot Dark Souls.
Yeah, Robot Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Better than Lords of the Fallen? Their previous game?
So far, yes.
Yeah.
It's very with Lords of the Fallen, and I guess by association Dark Souls, the character progression system is very much based on like leveling up specific stats to build a specific character, whereas the Surge basically has you. Okay, so like in Dark Souls and games like that, you kill enemies in those games to collect souls or whatever you want to call them in your particular game. In the Surge, you're collecting scrap.
Yeah.
So every enemy you kill, you collect scrap. Now, like Lords of the Fallen, there's kind of a risk-reward system there, because the longer you go without, banking it, a little multiplier. You get a little bit of multiplier. So
Sure.
and that's and basically you turn that in, and instead of leveling specific stats, what you do is you level up your power core, and the power that increases the power core's capacity, because in the power capacity is taken up by pieces of armor that you're wearing, or implants that you install into your head. And you can kind of switch those around.
Yeah.
To customize your dude. The combat system is, I think, probably the most interesting aspect of that game, because it allows you to target specific body parts, and when you cut off a body part, you collect a specific part.
Dicks.
You collect dicks.
Dicks.
But no, you collect us, like, if you want to level up, if you want to get some a piece for your arm, then you gotta attack the arms of a lot of guys and collect those pieces, then go back to your safe room and use those parts to craft gear or level up existing gear. It's pretty cool so far. It's very sci-fi, obviously. A lot of dark corridors. Pretty good game so far, though. So I'm looking forward to playing more of that. More Persona, of course.
I am so excited for when I finish Breath of the Wild. Because I'm not allowing myself to buy Persona until then.
Yeah.
And because I know that if I bought Persona, I would not finish Breath of the Wild. Just because I'd be excited about the new toy, not because Breath of the Wild is bad or I'm tired of it, because I like it a lot. I just know myself.
Yeah, that's it. Both of those, I don't know anything about Zelda besides what I've heard people say about it. But that game seems like a huge time sink, and Persona, of course, is also that. So yeah, and also I've dipped back into Diablo 3.
Oh,
we talked about this last night at dinner. That I've been playing Diablo 3 since beta, and I still, from time to time, end up going back to it for one reason or another.
Yeah. I was watching,
and I just need to stop playing this fucking game. But
see, I was watching our friend Jimmy play it the other night, and he had a super high level character, and I was watching all those numbers pop up and watching him kill 80 enemies at once.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, that and it was making my fucking dopamine fire off like crazy, and I wasn't even playing the game. And so I picked it up again, and
so you try and get those crazy numbers.
Yeah, I want those numbers. That's kind of that's one of the big things to me, is making those numbers go up.
Did you do the Darkening of Tristram?
No.
Yeah, I really hate timed events like that. I played it as soon as I could because I knew it was only going to be around for that 1 month.
Sure.
But now no one gets to play that ever again.
What is it?
Darkening of Tristram was a thing that they did for Diablo's anniversary, where it skinned Diablo 3, a section of Diablo 3, to look and sound like older Diablo games.
Okay.
So, demake.
Yeah.
And you just went through level by level, just like an old Diablo, and then if you at the end you fight and kill Diablo, and that's it. You get it. I think you get a pet if you do everything that there is to do. But it was a neat little thing, and it just sucks that nobody can do that anymore.
Yeah.
Until next year.
Maybe.
While in the time that I hadn't been playing that game, they added seasons to the console version.
Yeah.
So I made a seasonal character. And I guess I've just kind of been, because I don't know how seasons work in these games like that. So, there's a little checklist for you to go down. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I don't remember leveling being as fast as it has been for me in the past day, because I don't remember being able to get to level 50 in a sitting.
Yeah.
That's never. I don't remember that ever happening. But that's more or less how it worked out.
Well, I think the whole thing is, at this point in the game, you're trying, the main campaign isn't what people were playing Diablo for.
Right.
So they're trying to get you to adventure mode as fast as they can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and no, see, it's, and I guess maybe it's my save data that I already had, because I already had adventure mode unlocked.
Right.
So I kind of just went right into that.
Right. But if you're new to Diablo, you don't.
Yeah, sure. I'm still looking very much looking forward to the Necromancer, because he was my favorite character to play as in Diablo 2.
I mean, I'm gonna play it, but
I played the Necromancer as well.
I still say Witch Doctor. That's it. It's the same fucking thing.
So that's I'm curious about that, because the Witch Doctor is very much just the Necromancer,
Yeah.
and so I'm wondering how different they're their skill sets are going to be.
It looks pretty different. I mean, it looks similar, but
Yeah.
from what they've shown, yeah.
Because they can both do zombie things, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of been.
Hanging around doing zombie things.
Yeah, I mean that's what you do when you're a witch doctor.
Necromancer.
Yeah. So, and then I was playing online and I didn't realize that my lobby was open and this guy joined my game and he was trying to give me like some hot Diablo tips.
Yeah.
And I was just
Some
like,
hot tips.
yep.
Well, will they make a regular Diablo? Will they make the Diablo makers go crazy?
Yes.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Doctors hate this guy. But yeah, and he was, and I realized I don't like playing that game with strangers at all.
Yeah.
Like at all. Because he like the whole time was like, okay, so you gotta go here and you gotta do this and this is. And I'm like, dude, shut up.
Just mute them. You
Yeah,
know?
I don't want to play the game anymore.
I don't know, like after getting the computer, I realized that I still knew my BattleNet information.
Oh.
So like, only thing I have on there is like Warcraft 3 and vanilla Diablo, you know? So yeah, I started playing that a little bit here or there.
I just uninstalled StarCraft 2 on my PC.
Yeah.
Were you playing a lot of that at one point?
I mean, when it first came out, I played pretty recently after it came out.
Yeah.
I bought this, whole other story. But yes, well, there's been a couple times I've been really into StarCraft 2. And I spent a fuck ton of time with StarCraft 1.
You excited for that remake, remaster, whatever they're doing?
I think it's neat. I think it's neat.
Yeah.
Night.
It's night.
Nice and neat became one word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I guess I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm not like super hyped about it, but I'm happy about it.
Sure. I never really pegged you for RTS player.
Well, I think I've said many times, like I am on the Blizzard Kool-Aid. Whatever they put out, I'm gonna try to defend or like.
Okay.
I will try to like it.
Lost Vikings.
But I do.
Destiny 2.
But I think we talked about it last week. I said that I liked
Blackthorn.
RTSs.
What?
I think I said it last week that I liked RTSs.
You did.
Maybe I forgot. Tom,
Yes.
what do you want to talk about this week, man?
I want to talk about, and I don't know that I'm using the right wording for it. I feel like I am, though. I want to talk about mixed media in gaming.
Okay.
So when we at the most basic level, mixed media is like you're a painter, right? But so you're throwing acrylics on there, but maybe you're also using oil. Maybe you're also putting some kind of cloth or something onto the canvas, right? You're using many things to make your work. The reason that I brought this up and that I wanted to talk about it was because of Quantum Break. For those that don't know, Quantum Break is a third-person action shooter that also has 30-minute episodes of a television show that take place in between acts.
Right.
So you play the game, and you watch the show. You play more game, and you watch more show.
Yeah.
And when I first heard about this, I was like, what a fucking gimmick. This is fucking dumb. Want no part of it. I hate Iceman.
Yeah.
You know. Boy, was I wrong. And not is that, like not the television stuff isn't fantastic. Like,
Sure.
it's better than some TV that's out now, but it's also a lot worse than some of the TV that's out now.
Yeah.
But man, it works fucking well. It works really well. And I'm like, man, I wish more games would do this, but they won't because this wasn't a huge success.
Right.
But that got me thinking about other things, and we talked about Clay Fighter. Using clay, like it is claymation. It's not stop motion to the exact extent that it would be in like something like Gumby.
Yeah.
But it is. You're using, much like the old Mortal Kombat games, you are using multiple photos to animate a real life object with computer generated graphics.
Sure.
And then we talked about Eye of Judgment. Eye of Judgment was a PS3 game that used the PlayStation camera with a mat. It's a card game with physical cards, but
Yeah.
it was a video game, So, yeah, I just want to talk about things like that you guys think were cool or ideas that you think would be cool.
I actually, I feel like quite a few 3DS games really got on those AR cards to help out in the actual games too. Because I know in Kingdom Hearts, if you use that little AR feature on these cards, then you would get that nightmare or like that creature
Yeah.
to use. And I always thought that was super neat.
I never got into it too much, like I really loved Kid Icarus Uprising, and I remember that came with several.
Yes.
I don't remember exactly what they did or what they were used for. Like I feel like I never touched them. You know.
I never Kid Icarus new, so I did not get those cards. But
You got to get it new, you see, because you need that stand. It's hard to hold a 3DS like that with one hand.
Would Skylanders count in that?
Like Toys to Life in general?
Yeah.
I'd say so, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd totally say so.
I think Disney Infinity. I feel like Disney Infinity really was like a different look on the whole like toys to gaming thing rather than Skylanders. I mean, Skylanders, you got the characters or the boosts or whatever, but like I know Disney Infinity, like during the, if I remember it correctly from playing with my nephews, like you actually got those like it actually unlocked like different things within the game as well.
Well, I mean,
didn't play-
Skylanders does to an extent too.
But I think it's because I think maybe I feel different about it because in Disney Infinity I felt like you're more creating something.
Yeah. Well, even with
More-
like Lego Dimensions, like there's level packs and all that. Like you build certain things from different universes.
It's just kind of cool because on surface level you have some collectible figurines, and then you put those figurines on the whatever the game calls
portal.
it. The portal.
I think Lego Dimensions does it best in that you are putting together Legos, right, to unlock these things like other games have done. It's doing the same thing as Skylanders as Disney, where you're unlocking characters, you're unlocking new levels and content and things of that nature, but you're building it, and your instructions are on screen. They don't give you a booklet like regular Lego sets. It's all
Sure.
on screen. It's
I
pretty
think
neat.
it's, I feel like the like Skylanders, Disney Infinity, Lego. I feel like it's a resurgence of a way to marketing to kids that really hasn't seen since like the 80s. Like how there was like, I mean, like some Transformers episodes were literally just to sell the sets.
Oh, sure,
Like
absolutely.
the whole episode would be based around why this one set should exist.
Right.
And same with
G.I. Joe.
and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And like I
Yeah.
feel like not necessarily that those games had things that didn't really make sense, but also like I do feel like some of that was for sure just to sell toys to kids.
Absolutely, and you know, make more off of one game.
Yeah.
Those games don't typically have DLC. The figures you buy are the DLC.
Right.
Well, it's not even just that, but like you got Skylanders backpacks, you got Skylanders cases with the official Skylanders logos to carry your Skylander figurines.
Well, and the
you got
interesting-
mats to
Yeah.
like, so you can like relax on the Skylander mat while you play your Skylanders game. It was just like a whole different marketing that you saw. Like
The interesting thing
really
is
push with
that
that.
between like Disney Infinity and Lego Dimensions, both have some of the most valuable IP, and it's gonna some of those like I don't doubt that a lot of people bought into Disney Infinity just because they like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Or bought into Lego
or
Dimensions.
Incredibles,
Right,
or
just because they like Ghostbusters or whatever it might be. Whereas with Skylanders, and yes, I am aware Skylanders is a spin-off of Spyro,
Spyro.
but like none of those characters are immediately recognizable, and that game did better than either of those.
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, for sure.
But
But I think it also has like that. I feel like it just has that like grungy, dirty kid aspect that like the other two don't have. I mean, granted, like just like you want gross stuff. You want a guy with a pot belly and a cannon leg,
That's
and
cool.
like with like a parrot.
That's
and
cool.
like yeah, playing as Captain Barbossa I guess is cool, but I mean like this dude is half shark.
yeah.
Like it's just like
Like
it's
a street shark.
It's like the Garbage Pail Kids or something like that. It's just like, or Street Sharks. It's something cool and gimmicky, but kids are so down for it.
Yeah. Now you're talking, Tom, about Quantum Break,
Uh-huh.
and how in the game there's a TV show, right?
Right.
But that reminds me of the game Defiance, which also had a TV show on network television of the same name. And
But it wasn't part of the experience, though.
oh, no, it was.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, because basically the way it was gonna be set up, though, it never took off because like nobody bought the damn game and the show got canceled. But the way it took off was that okay, so Defiance was supposed to be like a persistent like online thing, right?
Yeah.
And so whatever happened on the show would happen in the game and vice versa. It never really took off because, like I said, nobody bought the game,
Uh-huh.
so it wasn't really set. I mean, it's a cool idea, but
So with Quantum Break, you have you play the game from the point of Iceman,
Sean Ashmore.
and then they have what they call a junction point, where you play as the main antagonist, and all you're really doing with him is making a decision. Much like a Telltale game, right? You want to do this, you want to do that, and it tells you this is how it will affect different things, and that decision directly affects what you see in the episode of the show.
Right.
It's really neat. It's done very well.
Yeah.
And it's something I'd like to see more games explore. Like I said, I don't think it'll happen, but it flows together so well. Like you're playing this game for hour, 2 hours, and there's an episode of a TV show that has to do with the game, and that's when you take your break and eat your snacks and
Is the TV show more entertaining because you're like, I did this?
I think that might be the case on my second playthrough when I see those differences.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. There's got to be more interesting things that we can do with video games.
Yeah.
And they're not all great. I don't think Toys to Life is great. I think Toys to Life is a terrible racket.
Yeah.
But in general, I don't know.
I guess
Left Behind from Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
The comic, I forget what the comic was, but the comic directly influenced the story that they told in that game.
Right.
And that's cool. And that's a little bit different because that's not really part of the same product.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Would you consider games like Drawn to Life, which I talked about when we were talking about Scribblenauts, where it's oh, you have to jump on the cloud and you get to draw your cloud on there, and for the rest of the game, that's what your clouds look like.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very broad term.
Yeah.
For sure. But I mean, what I was getting at
that was pretty successful. It's like taking a small game and making you feel more interactive and connected to it.
Sure. And there, I don't know. Player agency might not be exactly what I'm getting at. I don't know. It's a weird thing because part of me thought my both of us immediately jumped to Clay Fighter, right?
Yeah.
And that's not that's just two different materials that they use to make a game, right? But I mean, so is Quantum Break in a way.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. It's
well,
weird.
so
I feel oh, sorry. Go ahead.
well, I was thinking, in the same vein of Clay Fighter, also because Mortal Kombat came up,
right?
Then Mortal Kombat made me think of games like Area 51 with the FMV shit in it,
right?
And that's very much
And with those that is more literal definition of the term, right? They are using multiple different media to make that product.
Yeah.
But at the same time, any video game is that, right? Any movie is that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's cinematography, it's photography, it's music, it's acting. Those are all separate things.
Yeah.
Do you guys think this would ever work? I mean, I think it would definitely work better on some genre of gaming than others. But say, I know I like playing single player games.
Yeah.
I just don't really I like knowing that it's my efforts and I'm doing it and accomplishments of that.
Okay.
But there's definitely times after a level, especially if I did a kick-ass job about it, I wish I could talk to somebody about it afterwards. So somehow do after a level a chat room, be it's I think it would work better on ones that have levels that are a little bit different or have different challenges to it.
Press the share button on your PlayStation 4 controller and upload it to Facebook.
I'm just saying have chat rooms after each level and be
specifically
I
for
see what
people
you're
who
saying.
have just finished that level.
Oh,
that
dude.
could be cool.
That's something if you've gone past that level, then you're not going to see them in the chat
Right,
room.
and I think that's neat.
I mean, you wouldn't always see people in there, but I feel like it would be fun to have that feature you can turn on and off.
Yeah.
It reminds me, what you're saying reminds me a lot of Catherine, because I had never seen that before, in which you would finish a level and you would see your choice compared to the choice that everybody else made. And I'm sure that other games had done that beforehand. I know games have done it
sure.
since then. That was the first time I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really neat.
So I can't remember. I think it might have been Dead Nation, where there was some game where you could influence what happened to whomever was playing the game by using like Twitter.
I don't know about Twitter. There are several games that implement Twitch.
Yeah.
Where the viewers can influence what happens in game.
And maybe it was Twitch.
Right.
Like you would like there's another game where you would say like hashtag something, and then that would cause something to happen in the game. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But I mean that I don't know if that counts, but I mean I think that's pretty
I'd say
neat.
it counts. I don't know.
I mean, sorry, just made me think of it, and like also like people having input from idea. But did y'all ever? I think it was Twitch plays Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the wonderful memes that came out from that.
I remember a lot of people were really pissed off about that, but I can't remember exactly why.
So
Because it was super frustrating. Like we would try, like people would be like spending like an hour in this same corner.
Oh, yeah.
Because moving
Yeah.
up.
No, that's not what it was. What it was specifically like some kind of streamer outrage because like I don't know, it was something.
So shortly after that, Revision 3, or I guess at that time Rev 3 Games, did Twitch Plays Adam Sessler, and that was really fucking funny.
What was the premise of that?
Nothing. It was just like the Twitch chat could control what Adam Sessler did. They had him on camera, and yeah, it was interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I had an idea about the Scribblenauts thing. But
Scribblenauts are drawn to life, or just general.
I guess it's just general games like that. And now I'm realizing that it might be kind of redundant because I thought it would be cool to like if you're on a device that's got a camera, then if you happen to have a doodle that you made on some paper and then you scan it into the game.
Oh, I feel like there's already games out there where you definitely can take pictures of stuff and it pops it up in real life in the game. I mean, hell,
Yeah. Face Raiders.
Oh yeah, Face Raiders. You take pictures of the faces and you shoot them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game sucks.
Yeah, the game does suck,
it
but
does suck. But I mean, like, if you're like, oh, this is like, what is your like main boss gonna look like, and take a picture of it, and like your doodle's the main boss, that'd be fun.
yeah. I don't know. I think that because okay, so the other night when I guess we were talking about this, I was I had heard the term cross media before, but I've never exactly been clear on what it really meant, especially in the context of video games.
Right.
And I guess you had helped, based on your understanding of what it is, you kind of helped paint a clearer picture of it.
I mean, like I said, I do feel like it's a pretty broad term.
Yeah.
You know.
Because what is immediately familiar to me in that context is a lot of the games from the early to maybe I guess mid '90s that used a lot of FMV or photographs of people to make the game happen.
Right.
Like Lethal Enforcers, which is like it's really just a bunch of fucking photographs of people.
Right.
And again, Area 51, Mortal Kombat for sure, which is something that I'd never really given a whole lot of thought to until more recently, with the idea of like it's kind of crazy when I like wrapping my mind around it, like it being these actual people in the game that I have control over. It's weird to me. But then I also remember around the early, I don't know if you guys remember this, but around in the early 90s, there's these arcade machines that were holograms. And there's one that I saw the most often, which was about a time-traveling cowboy. And it wasn't like Mortal Kombat, where it was just like different frames. Like it was a guy in the game, and he was just like he was like actually like fully doing the motion. Like it was like an actual recording of him. Like if you ducked it, it was a recording of him doing like ducking, and it's.
Well, that's what FMV is. Mortal Kombat isn't technically FMV.
Well, no, it's
Lethal
not.
Enforcers.
Well, it's not because FMV is just like actual
Right.
video, right?
I feel like
It's like playable
I feel like
FMV.
could totally be utilized better for Atomy games.
I think
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just get like
Yeah, that's a good fucking point. That'd be
get
fun.
like basically all of the major Korean drama stars and just get a bunch of video of them doing random stuff.
Just
walking
record different
around.
things for different choices.
Yeah,
That'd be
walking
cool.
around, and then like
That make me feel like I really had a girlfriend.
I mean,
Or- yeah,
at
way
its,
better.
at its core, Atomi and even a lot of like Telltale stuff are basically twine games,
Yeah.
and all you need is different results.
Sure.
You know, this choice triggers this to happen,
I mean, some of them are more.
and they could totally do that.
I mean, a lot of there's quite a few Atomi games that are I feel like a lot more in depth on gameplay than like the Telltale games.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one you saw just making a lot of choices, but a lot of them do have like actual like stat building, resource stuff, and then you don't know it until like the very end, so you could spend all these hours.
I don't know.
doing
I
stuff.
feel like if
Oh,
Otomi's
I'm
had
not saying
FM
like they're not that deep, but I'm saying as far as the way they function
Oh,
function
yeah.
like a twine game functions.
like
Yeah.
like now that I'm thinking about it, like if Otomi had FMV in them, I'd probably be apt to play them more often.
yeah.
I
I think
just want real pigeons and my next tattoo boyfriend.
what a nightmare that game would be to make.
Yeah, that's true.
So the more I'm thinking, and again, my understanding of it is very rudimentary, but the more I think about it, the more I think that it's a lot of, you know, you're playing the game, and then accompanying that game is like a TV show or you know, a
It doesn't
book
even
or a
have to be
magazine or
that
something, like.
it doesn't even have to be on that level. It could just be an artistic choice, like
Sure.
Clay Fighter, like Mortal Kombat. you
What
know.
was the game like? Did
but-
Little Big Planet use actual cardboard? Or was that all CG?
No, they didn't use actual stuff. I mean, Media Molecule likes to do a lot of things that look that way, right? Like even Tearaway.
Yeah.
It looks like papercraft. I guess with Tearaway, like Tearaway did interesting things because there is video that you create that goes into the game. There are photographs that you take that go into the game.
Yeah.
And you unlock instructions to make a lot of the things with paper from the game if you want to,
Yeah.
you know. But like as far as it's all CG.
So, another idea of possible where it could go in the future, as far as, well, this one's more like I guess like more of a particular subgenre of like things like Dark Souls or other games that are difficult, or even I guess some action adventure games, have like an option if like same thing like level or area that you keep dying at. Like maybe those people who made the game, I'm thinking more like Activision, Sony, people who can afford it, have like professional game players go and play that part and like talk out before what they're going to do or their method for it. That way, if you keep dying at, you have it like you at least know a general sense of how somebody else did it.
Like a walkthrough put into the game.
Yeah, like or have an option where you can be like, oh, would you like to see the Activision walkthrough for this part of whatever game they're doing? And have that be like a licensed thing, and it's another way for professional gamers to be part of the community.
Like, oh, you could like do an insert, like in like the corner or something.
Well,
Well, it just sort of like a screen pop up, like a pause, like a pause, like a pause screen, like when you're like, oh, restart, you hit restart, and it's like, would you like to see this? It's a yes or no.
No, I understood what you were
Yeah.
saying. I was adding to that.
Oh, like it's gonna pop up in the screen.
Yeah.
I got it now.
the issue with that is like, it's not something that could easily exist at launch of that title.
Sure.
Unless it's directly from the development team
Well, that's
or
what
something
I'm
like
saying.
that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it would be like an actual licensed one, so they would have it be part of the crew
Yeah.
and be part of that non-disclosure agreement.
There was that thing in The Last of Us Left Behind where you could go to that photo booth and upload the pictures to Facebook.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, because they were like, what is Facebook? Which is a weird thing to hear someone say, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. There's because my mind keeps going back to different formats being used to like come together to make a game.
Yeah.
And and a lot of it is centered around a lot of the shit that we played in the early 90s, because back when like FMV and anything like that was kind of all the rage.
Sure.
That was like the way to, I guess, make your game the most realistic or whatever. although I think that, and there's a game that came out fairly recently that does it, but I think that would be there's a horror game that I saw on PSN that I didn't actually dig too deep into. But it was noteworthy because it was an FMV game that I couldn't imagine one of FMV game coming out in the 21st century just because I haven't seen them in like forever. But I mean, I think it could still work pretty well given the right context. Like Her Story.
Yeah.
It's that whole game is pretty much FMV, but it works really well. And I think that depending on the kind of game, I think it's great for telling stories. Right?
Sure.
But I don't know.
But like, what's a new thing that you think could happen? Like some of the stuff Shanee's brought up, I think could be pretty cool. I think for visual novels, I think that there is a way in which you could implement a physical book into something like that.
Sure.
I don't know exactly how that would look, though.
Yeah.
Probably better than some of them already do. I mean, Xenosaga 3 was a movie that had some game aspects, basically.
How do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, there's just a fuck ton of cutscenes.
Oh, so like Metal Gear.
I'm pretty sure they're longer than Metal Gear's.
Okay. Gosh, because I really, really want to do something with, I have a fixation on FMV ever since we started talking about this. And I want to do something with that. And I'm thinking, I wonder if you could, do that with a driving game.
God, I feel like it'd be really difficult to do.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember what it is. There is a top-down racing game that recently came out that uses satellite imaging from so it's like Google Earth, right?
Right.
And that's where you're driving. You're driving on actual places that it's all just photographs from that, and that's something that could work.
Yeah.
You could use Google Earth to use actual real roads and just fill in between, but I don't know how that would work.
Well, I don't know. I was gonna say use it for some kind of
people utilized a bunch of different stuff to make what was the system that Pokemon Go was based off of? What was that game?
Oh yeah.
Fuck. That's gonna bother me now.
It's gonna bother me too.
Look it up.
All right,
look it up
doing it right
Shanee.
now. But that whole thing that was based off of actual.
What was
It's
that game
based off
called?
of actual traffic flow and stuff like that. Right.
Right.
What was that game called? I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's a good example too. Pokemon Go. As much as I think it's a dumb game, it's a good example.
Yeah. I was thinking.
Ingress.
Ingrid. I was thinking that you run into a lot of legal mumbo jumbo doing it, but if you use the Google Earth for some kind of open world action game,
yeah, that's not gonna fly.
yeah, because we already saw that with fucking what was it, Infamous. Which obviously that wasn't I don't think it was Google Earth stuff in there, but
No, you're talking about Second Son.
yeah.
So Insomniac with Second Son actually went around to both the state and local business to ask permission to put actual things in the game. That's why you see things like that fucking Pink Elephant Car Wash and the Space Needle and Sub Pop Records and stuff like that in there. But yeah, you're right. There are a lot of contractual obligations, right? Like with the Space Needle, you can put it in the game, you can't destroy it.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
and I think in the end it would be a lot more trouble than it's worth. But I mean, if those things weren't in place and someone was just given free rein to do whatever, I think it'd be cool to play an open world game set in a 1-to-1 representation of a real city.
yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, it would depend on how good the actual game was. But
I mean, not to applaud Remedy too much again, but with Alan Wake, having the show, what is it, Night Springs or something like that?
Okay, that's a
right?
I don't know. I've never played the game.
Well, you have. You haven't got. To
Oh,
that part,
Alan
I
Wake.
guess.
I was my mind was with in quantum.
Where
Quantum
it's
Break.
like, so in Alan Wake, there is a spoof show that is basically the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I'm back in.
I think it's
remember.
Night Springs.
I think I think
Something
you're
like
right.
that. But
Yeah.
like,
And
and that is at full FMV, and you've got the choice. It's on a TV in the game.
You can just stop and
and you
watch
can
it.
stop and sit there and watch the whole damn thing, or you just ignore it completely. And
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say that, and I think that just might be their thing because I know that they did that in Max Payne.
Really?
Yeah, there was a show, and I mean it wasn't like full like 30-minute episodes or anything.
Well, neither is the stuff in Alan Wake.
But in the first two Max Payne games, there was a show called Baseball Bat Boy.
yeah.
And you would happen to if you happen to pass by a TV that had it on, then there'd be like this little animated short.
Baseball bad boy.
Yeah, it's like
It's like Paranoia Agent.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like a little short that you could stop and watch. And I don't know if it loops back around or what, but
Yeah.
you know, there's stuff like that. There's also like a I don't remember if it's in Max Payne 1 or 2, but they had if you there's a radio or a radio or two that you could pass by that's playing some kind of radio drama called Lords and Ladies.
And with games like both Alan Wake and Quantum Break, and I would argue games like Transistor, and from what I hear, even some of the Souls stuff, there is so much lore in writing that you can completely miss. And I feel like that's almost mixed media as well, because like it's writing, right? Like there is enough in Quantum Break and in Transistor for you to read that completely make you understand those games so much more if you choose to read that stuff.
Yeah,
But
and
like,
I think
What do you-
with Quantum Break, there's enough material there to make up a small novel.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a lot of fucking writing.
I think by
But-
in comparison though, with Transistor, I think that understanding the story of that game is, whether or not you do that is almost completely contingent on whether or not you look at all that extra stuff.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's very minimalist storytelling in that game. And so, stopping to like look at all the terminals and read about all the people and stuff. I mean, to get an understanding of that world, you kind of just have to do that stuff.
Yeah.
And like you said with like Dark Souls, it's buried a little bit more deeply because they talk in some kind of weird, like, cryptic way, but it's still there.
Oh, here's one that I thought of that maybe somebody's done. I bet you there's probably some weird Japanese game that's like this because they do much more music rhythm than we do. I think you could pretty easily have a music rhythm game that allows you to use real world instruments as long as they make a note, right?
Rocksmith.
Because Rocksmith is you're not listening to what I'm saying. Rocksmith
Sorry.
specifically asks you to use a guitar. Where with just the average modern day tuner, your phone, all of our phones, well, we all have the same phone. Any modern day smartphone can tune an instrument. Right? It can recognize a note. I think if you could implement that into the software where it doesn't matter what instrument is playing, because with a tuner it doesn't matter what instrument is playing.
Sure.
It's just recognizing the note.
Right.
That you could have a real world instrument music rhythm game that doesn't require you to use a specific instrument.
Right.
And I think that could be really neat.
Yeah, that would be cool. Guitar, some kind
Yeah,
of
fucking
horns.
trumpet, whatever, yeah.
that would be really neat. And just now,
And it's still gonna have to have a peripheral to like register it or
A microphone.
yeah, and
That's it. Like,
I'm saying they're still gonna have to have something because like if you're doing it by console and like the ones that exist now.
I don't know that PlayStation camera and the Kinect, those microphones are pretty good. I think they'd serve the purpose anyway.
I mean,
I don't know.
the microphone on this can tune a guitar.
Yeah.
Not just a guitar, can tune most stringed instruments that need tuning regardless of what they sound like, right?
Yeah.
it seems to me like you would just need a mic.
And I think you would, and also because okay, so there would be obviously there'd be like a list of songs that you can choose from to play, right? And I think that would be really cool to, there'd probably be some interesting renditions of different songs to come out of that too.
Sure.
I feel like there's definitely going to be like celebrities trying to just make the notes that you need to hit for the song.
What do you mean?
Like just with their mouth and like singers and stuff. And
Sure, but like why not?
Yeah.
Well,
why not?
no, I'm just adding to it. I'm saying
Yeah.
like I can imagine this becoming like the next car karaoke or whatever internet like family friendly meme thing there is. It's gonna be like, oh, celebrities and singers like trying to play this game.
It just, I don't know anything about game development, but it just doesn't seem like it would be that hard of a thing to execute. Like,
And we could use some kind of new iteration on the rhythm game genre. I think. I honestly think that would take off on like social media real fast too.
Yeah.
And it would be also cool. No, maybe like. I was thinking, and I'm trying to make sure my mind keeps up with me here, but so there might be kind of a freeform mode where you can like just kind of fuck around on your given instrument, and then
like Parappa.
Yeah, like that. You fuck around on your given instrument, right? And then it'll record you for like a set period of time, like let's say 2.5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with that, and then. You upload that, and then the game will register like the different thingies that rhythm game's having them, and then you can upload that, and someone else can play your song. Is that a thing already?
I don't know. I have no idea.
There's other apps that do that. That not like the little the karaoke game. You can do that.
Karaoke?
What the little phone karaoke game that?
Is that all like pre-made, like pre-loaded songs though?
I mean, you can always go off. I mean, there's just
like I'm taking like a 100% original composition that you made.
Well, that would be SoundCloud.
What?
People put their music on SoundCloud, you see, and people find it on SoundCloud.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that like you put the composition into the game, and then the game makes the little indicators that it needs to rack up the points for you while you play the song.
Right.
Oh, so you're talking about like a Super Mario Maker, but like for your music.
Yeah, essentially yes.
Yeah,
like
that could be added to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing. It's just funny.
What, the metaphor I used?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what it takes for you to understand what I'm talking about, then yes, that's what I mean.
Well, just what word? It wouldn't be redundant to put it in a game. Like, why put it in a game when there's other things that exist that do it better and have a better fan base already? I mean, you just have to think what consumers are gonna go towards, or.
I mean, I think if you
I feel like I'm pretty excited about. Because I feel like eventually there is going to be a video game, if there isn't already, based off a podcast. I'm not saying we're going to be the first ones, because I doubt it. But something like the One Shot, where they're like doing like, or their like campaign one, where like they can pick from whatever episode that they've like gone to their story for, and like people who love hearing about like Dungeons and Dragons done to the podcast and has familiar characters. Here's like a little phone game or like a small like online like download game to play where you can play as your character, plays the characters you've been hearing about.
I'm lost.
Yeah, I'm.
So like, so like the One Shot. I think One Shot is like the whole like all of them, like it's a One Shot network. But the One Shot is he picks different role playing games and like has people on there that are normally something in the industry, or like improv artists. And then they also do like another one that's like campaign that this wonderful lady named Kat Cole runs, and then but there's also like other Dungeons and Dragons like podcasts where you're just listening to a campaign. Harmontown with Dan Harmon.
Okay.
He plays Dungeons and Dragons even on his. It started as a joke, but then like it actually happened. He picked up a guy from the crowd to be a dungeon master, and he decided he was going to do it.
Okay.
But yeah, but like any of those where like people have been listening to like a like a gaming podcast for like a long story game, I feel like could be easily turned into a video game, and maybe like updates with it. Will go through like the actual podcast stuff.
Shanee, I'm going to preface this by saying that maybe I'm a bit slow on the uptake. And I'm sure that to a more able-minded person, that is a very good idea, but I'm still kind of not following you.
You know how there's games based off movies?
Yes.
And there's games based off TV shows.
Yes.
Do you understand that there is podcasts that are literally just people playing Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes.
And people listen to it every week.
Yes.
So, it's going to be a game based off that campaign of Dungeons and Dragons they have created.
Got it. All right, we're back in.
Yeah.
We're back in. Like that whole time I was just like, should I interject and say I don't understand, or let her finish and see if I understand at the end? And I didn't.
Okay.
But you
pulled it back around.
Yeah, you pulled it back around. I was getting scared that I wouldn't know what you're talking about, but I'm glad
I was
that
just like, I didn't know where I lost you guys. Sorry. I thought I was making myself clear. Obviously I was not. But yeah, like, and then I feel like with something like podcasts that I do feel like are more accessible than like say TV shows.
Okay.
I feel like that would be an easy thing to like have like, oh, like for people who like supported them for so long, have like an episode in the game.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's about them. I mean, there's plenty. I just think like, because I know, I mean, or having even, well, I don't know if Twitch would really work as well as like podcasts on some things. Maybe better. I don't know. But like, or YouTube channels. I just feel like it'd be a really good way to like, I think those would be really good, just really good things to base games off of and have a lot of crowd interaction.
I think that Twitch would work really well for something like that.
But Twitch doesn't have, as far as video games. Twitch does have a lot of original content. I just don't know what you would make a game out of with Twitch.
Yeah, like an actual video game.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking more of like what the podcast is about, what the Twitch streams are about. Mostly are either just games or hobbies.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Twitch Dungeons and Dragons games, but they're normally not like the highest people watched.
All those fucking nerds.
All those nerds.
I don't know. I think that there are a lot of things that, people who, have more of a mind for creating things like that, could more easily come up with than we could. Because I know that there are things that, sometimes you sit and think about, it would be cool if you could do this in a game, but it's always kind of just like a passing thought, right? It's not ever really something that, well, for me, I should speak mostly for myself, but it's really more it's usually just a passing thought and nothing that I ever really expound upon.
Did I ever tell you the story? The only reason I bring this up, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about really, but it has to do with what you just said.
Okay.
About when I was in elementary school, Mortal Kombat 3 had just come out. Me and my friend came up with the idea for Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
Yes, I know this story. Tom Stradamus.
Right, you have all the characters.
Story.
You have all the characters, all the levels, and you could be multiple versions of the same character. You could be Mortal Kombat 1 Kano and Mortal Kombat 3 Kano, whatever, right? We write the idea down in our fucking elementary school handwriting, send it into Acclaim, never hear anything back, and then a couple years later, they make that exact game.
That can't be coincidence.
No, I don't think that they ripped off some
be
elementary
coincidence.
school kids.
I doubt it.
That can't be coincidence.
I think that it was just an obvious good idea, you know.
Well, circular
But,
thinking.
Yeah. It's just funny that he said, like, we never act on it. And I'm like, well, I acted on it.
Wait.
I got nothing from it.
I mean, is that cross media? Because you wrote down a game and then the game happened.
No.
I don't know. I think that my main interest is really I really just want to see someone come up with, I want FMV to come back in like a really cool way. Cause there were some cool ideas that I'd seen with, I can't remember the name of the game now, but it was a game that I played on the Sega Saturn. It was some kind of space shooter game. And you know how like on all the movies with like spaceship dogfights, like I'll go with Star Wars as the easiest one. But like, there's always like the little comm screen that's got the guy's face on it, like when they're talking to each other. And I remember there was I don't know why I can't remember the game, but whenever when you're playing the game, like there's a little video screen, and like it was all prescriptive stuff, like it was never dynamic or anything. But as you're playing, like your wingmates would like pop in and like say shit to you.
Yeah. Did Wing Commander not do that?
I don't think it might have been, but I know it wasn't Wing Commander.
It was basically what you're saying is like Star Fox Peppy hair if that was an actual rabbit.
Yeah. Except like less horrifying than that sounds. But like it would also do the thing. It would also do the fucking trope where because your enemies could like channel into your comps for some reason, like they always do in those things. And like when you blew up a guy, like the guy would be like, his face would come up, and then like you'd see like fucking flames like engulf him when you blew his ship up.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like things like that are always really neat. It'd be cool if they could make it dynamic in some way.
Red Alert do a lot of FMV.
Yeah, I think that was like the whole shtick.
Yeah.
With that shit. And I remember also there was some Billy D. Williams in there.
Yeah.
Lando, and I remember one of them also had Jenny McCarthy in it.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever watch Singled Out, she's from that. But yeah, I don't think that's, and it also.
She was actually replaced by Carmen Electra on that show.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
But they retained the Chris Hardwick.
Yeah.
So,
they should make a Singled Out game. Has there been?
There had. Well, no. Maybe.
Or like a blind date the game.
No. See, you make a blind date point and click adventure game.
Yeah.
Like choice driven narrative of that inevitably horrific date that you're about to go on.
Yeah.
I just remember though when FMV was like a huge thing, like that was a way to make games look realistic. Now, oddly enough, to me, the games without using that look more real.
FMV was very deceptive when I was a kid. Like I remember looking through like GamePro, right, and seeing screenshots for these games, and I was like, I'd never played one of these games.
Yeah.
So I was just like, the game looks like that.
You had no idea it was
amazing.
A video.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was something you couldn't really interact with.
Yeah. There was this game that came out on PS1 and Sega Saturn called The Horde, and it starred Kirk Cameron. You remember who that guy is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he was the central character in that game, Sir Chauncey. And the only time I'd ever seen Kirk Cameron prior to that was on WB's Kirk.
Yep.
Have you ever played a FMV game?
I believe so.
Because I feel like a lot of Sega CD stuff was that. Myst was for a little bit.
There was some early Windows stuff.
Yeah.
That was FMV.
And it was just the coolest thing in the world to me now at the time, but now I'm just like, I just look at it and think it's lame. But I do want to play that game that I'd seen on PSN that was kind of a horror game that took place in like some kind of underground bunker, and I don't know, but maybe it could still be cool. I doubt it, but maybe. But I do like the idea of like that interactivity, like outside, like doing things outside of the game that make stuff in the game happen. I like that a lot. Because I feel like that's a lot. It's like really immersive because you're doing the things.
I feel like when it's done well, it's immersive, but I definitely feel like sometimes it just gives me anxiety, and I'm just like, I gotta do this.
And I think most of the time it's like too gimmicky to be actually like novel. You know.
But people aren't gonna get it unless it is gimmicky, so it's just.
Well, that's the kind of
yeah.
That's kind of like the balance you have to strike, right? Because you want it to be gimmicky enough for people to buy it, but you want it to be gimmicky enough for people to like fucking write off immediately.
Yeah. Or not buy all the extra stuff you're gonna put out.
Oh,
for
like the inevitable like extra shit you're gonna sell for that fucking real life game or whatever.
Real life.
Third Life.
Or do you guys ever watch that movie Gamer?
No.
No.
I know what it is, but no.
Yeah, you know that movie, Shanae?
No.
Okay, so the premise of
I don't
Gamer.
think so.
Check this out. The premise of Gamer is that you are at home playing a game, and your in-game avatar is an actual person that you're controlling.
Like
And so,
a person in real life.
Yes.
Like Twitch plays Adam Sessler.
yeah.
So I'm convinced.
Except Adam Sessler can be shot to death in the game, which I would never want to happen. But
Well, I mean, but is the person that you're controlling gonna get shot?
yes, so there's a first-person. the
Wait,
game.
no. I'm saying like I'm playing a character named Ryan Robinson. So
Yes,
wait,
if
so-
someone shoots me, I die.
No, if you shoot somebody else, do they die?
But I'm saying
Like, do they die in real life?
Yes.
Is that what you're? I'll let
Yes.
you finish your question.
yes, that's exactly what I'm asking. Yes.
Okay.
No, it's not at all. No, I'm saying though, like,
Wow,
is it
jeez.
just like a real life looking person, or like the Ryan Robinson in the game? Like, is it like you are online, and so
Yeah.
if I tell you to eat a banana, you're gonna eat a banana
Yes.
in real life?
No, so here's what it is.
Okay.
So, all right.
Shut the fuck up, Tommy.
So, okay, so
Calm the fuck down today.
all right, so let's say I'm playing the game at home, right? And I want my avatar to be you. Now, it's not like a facsimile of you, it is actually you. So I'm like, you're controlling like an actual person.
Because when we say controlling an actual person, I think you mean controlling in real life. Not. Is it just? Oh my gosh. Because if it's just like
I feel like we're just gonna have to watch the movie because
I don't like any of. I don't like any of this.
you don't want to watch the movie today.
it's actually pretty good. It's got Gerard Butler, and he
I
is
just want to know if in real life I'm making people do stuff.
yes.
Yes.
This is dumb. I don't like this.
That's good. It's a good movie. It's got Gerard
I
Butler,
don't want that.
Terry Crews,
I do like Terry Crews.
that guy who played Dexter.
I don't give a shit about him.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a good movie. Mm-hmm. But then again,
Oh wait, is that the one where they have Rock'em Sock'em robots?
No, dude.
You're
Okay.
talking about Real Steel.
Yeah, Real Steel. Which is basically over the top with robots instead of arm wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I never made that connection.
They're like the same movie, except
Yeah.
one has arm wrestling, one has robots.
Because in like an over the top, like the estranged son comes to hang out with his dad while
Yeah.
he becomes an arm wrestling champion.
Right.
Real Steel, estranged son comes to hang out with his dad while he becomes a Rock'em Sock'em champion.
Right.
Except in Real Steel, your dad is Wolverine. So
And not Rambo.
Wolverine.
yeah. We're gonna stop.
Thank
Alright.
goodness.
I think we should talk about Gamer again.
Well, it's never mind. Like I've never actually had to explain that movie to someone before.
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of a weird concept for a movie.
Yeah, I think I'll show you the trailer and
It
then
sounds
you'll
like
get
a bad Black Mirror episode.
It's kind of yes, it would be. It would very easily be a Black Mirror episode.
A bad Black Mirror episode.
There's no such thing. That's the show this week, guys. If you guys want to drop us a line or anything, say hello. You can email us at savecontinuepodcast@gmail.com. My name is Ryan Robinson. With me is Tom Shelby,
Bye-bye.
Shanee Howard.
Bye.
Watch Gamer.